Welcome back, everybody. We're talking right now with incumbent City Councilor Bill Ryan, running for, which term is this, Bill?
This would be 6.
Your 6th term as a Haverhill City Councilor, and prior to that being a school committee member, prior to that becoming mayor as well, and also state representative.
That's correct.
I think you've touched a chord with just about everything out there in the election process for the city of Haverhill. Let me ask you something, Bill. The most compelling factors you see that are confronting the city of Haverhill in the next couple of years, you think are what?
Well, I think we're still trying to recover from the recession that the country found itself in, not just Haverhill, but the country, Massachusetts, and of course Haverhill is part of the big picture. And I think we've done a good job over the last 10 years. We were saddled with the debt at the Old Hale Hospital. That has become a less of an impact on our total budget now. It's not good, but it's getting less. We've had help from the legislature and from the federal government in many ways. But I do believe that we are slowly recovering. I think we're able to use the rainy day funds that we had built up prudently. We're able to eliminate, in some cases, they were necessary jobs, but we made do without them. We're able to eliminate a lot of personnel, cut down on spending at every level. And our mayors, Ferrantini, Jim Rorak, John Guerin, I think all did yeoman's work during this crisis. Each one of them played an important role in letting us down easy, and then finally, in the last few years, we're starting to fill positions, fill programs, fund them better, do a better job with streets and sidewalks and potholes and schools and all of the responsibilities we have as a community. So I look at the next 2 years as a continued rebuilding of where we used to be. And that means that we have to do more with education. We have to consider the condition of the Hunkin School, and the voters are going to be asked to consider a new school, and as well as closing the Greenleaf School. We have class size and many issues that relate to putting together a sound educational system. In the city, we have a lot of infrastructure issues that we need to deal with. I believe one of the areas that we have to concentrate is to get a little better service to the community in terms of the city clerk, the assessor's office, the treasurer. We have public safety issues. Fire and police need to be upgraded with their equipment. I think the city is seeing a lot more crime than we have in past years, and I think that's because we're changing demographics, and older neighborhoods getting real old. So we need to probably look for more police and to have more visibility in the community.
Could you be more specific with regard to changing demographics?
Well, I think that the problem is that the areas like, let's take Mount Washington and the Acre, those are the two areas that are most concerning. That in the old days, they were all single family, or even if they were multifamily, they were owner occupied. The Acre had a pretty large Irish immigrant and of course, second and third generation populations. Mount Washington had a mix of Irish, Italian, Polish, Lithuanian, French, and many other groups who owned the house and took a lot of pride. Now we've seen them selling off the houses to absentee landlords. And you know, a lot of them do not live in the community, don't have a sense of community pride. They just need to make their payments, and the people who live there are not really part of the community like they were in the old days. And I think many of them are on different programs, so they're not keeping up the properties. The neighborhoods are deteriorating. That's why you're getting to look at every night in the police reports, it's the same streets. It's the urban part of the city. Much worse than any time in my life. You know, the amount of, maybe it's, now they're reporting it all. Maybe they weren't reporting it in the old days, but it does show that there's an increase, and I think you need to really beef up the police department. I think they have to, that's one area we have to make sure that we have enough officers to be able to respond to every call immediately in every neighborhood, as well as, you know, fire service and the other services that we provide that neighborhood.
I know they sometimes say the old adage is you can tell which homes are owner occupied and which ones are not by which lawns are mowed.
Yeah, you're correct.
You know, but let me ask you this interesting question too. That's one of the items that came up with some degree of controversy was the recommendation by the retirement board as far as the cost of living increase for retired municipal employees. The recommendation of the retirement board was to move forward with that in a positive vote. The mayor, upon reviewing those facts and figures, respectfully disagreed and would not be in favor of something of that type because he thought of the long-term detriment that the city might be facing. This has gone to subcommittee right now. I'm not sure if the vote's going to come up before the election or after the election, but based upon what you know so far, Mr. Ryan, what do you think? What is your take on that type of question, and what would you recommend?
Well, let me just say for full disclosure, I have retired and I'm back as a member of the council, so I would benefit by any action, so I recused myself from the vote. I left the council chamber. I would not participate in the vote, and I had, under the advice of our city solicitor, Bill Cox, and said it would be the best. Well, we could have asked for an opinion from the Ethics Commission, but it's pretty obvious I benefit. I shouldn't be doing that.
If you wouldn't be voting, would you have an opinion?
I do have an opinion. I think the mayor is doing everything possible to try and make the numbers work. And as I preface my remarks, the city is still coming out of a tough period where we have cut every service. We've been raising water and wastewater rates, taxes on people, and I think that you cannot just say yes to everybody. In the old days, if it had anything to do with the elderly, veterans, retirees, they were sacred, and you'd at your own political demise, you might not want to get in on the wrong side. But I think today we have to look differently at it. We have to look at every single dollar that we have. So that
harsh realities, no?
We just do not have the money, and I think the mayor, and I admire the mayor for you know, he has stepped up to the plate, and he's pushing to scrutinize. Even though I would benefit by this, I think every retiree wants to look at the long term.
You understand what the issues are.
Yeah, but I think every retiree should look long term. If they're getting a retirement, why jeopardize it for during this bad time down the road if things are better and times are producing more revenue to the community? I think maybe they'll look at it differently. But I don't criticize. I think everybody has to work this out.
And that'll have to be the last word. Bill Ryan, thanks very much. You're running for your 6th term as a Haverhill City Councilor. We wish you the best of luck in the election.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment with more.